Hi guys, it's Mark Strutt here from Threshold Media. Welcome to what is a rare event, a tutorial from me using C4D. Today I wanted to show you a rendering tip called Cell Renderer on C4D, and I'm going to show you based on this current project which I've got here, which is my take on Darth Vader's TIE fighter from the Star Wars movies. So this is the image of the current render I have using global illumination and other bits and pieces, sky object, so on and so forth. But what I wanted to produce was a wire type frame render, which is good for showing clients the structure of your models, and also look good anyway for a different style of rendering. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Now this is the cell render of this image here, and as you can see, it doesn't use any lighting, there's no shadows or anything. It is simply the wire mesh of the model from this scene. Now you can animate using cell render. It's no different to using global illumination or anything else. So you can make some pretty funky looking scenes animating objects with just a cell render. So that might be worth a go if that's something you're interested in. Let me just show you another one that I've got here. So this is the back shot of my TIE fighter, again using the cell render, and you can see all the different polygon definitions and everything else, and it's really good for showing the different how the model is structured. So here, for example, at the top of the model you can see the base of the main craft, or the hull, is a normal sphere, and then I've used a different sphere, hemisphere, spun it around so I can create these different bits and pieces on the top of the craft. You can see it better in this shot. So let's go into C4D and I'll show you exactly how you can produce this. So here I am with my model, with my scene all set up for construction and other bits and pieces. Basically you need to go into render settings. Now here I have all the different effects that I'm using in my current render, which is this one, the global illumination and everything else. Now this alone on my machine took nearly, in fact, over an hour to render using these settings. Now the beauty of the cell render is that, dependent on the complexity of your model, this renders relatively quickly. So let me show you what you need to do. Now this is also dependent on what version of C4D you have. I have 11.5, so I'll show you how to get to it through here. What you need to do is deselect all of your current effects that you have in your list. Now if you go to the effects button here, and you'll see the usual list of effects appear, but the one we want is cell render, so select that. Now to get the effect I had on this image, you need to make sure you have outline and edges selected. Now you can make them different colours, but I prefer just straight black and white. I think it's more effective, and I think it looks good. So that's all you need to do, other than your usual selecting what size image you want and your output paths. Simply go back to your perspective view, select your camera shot, and then hit render. Now this may take a little while to render because my model is quite complex. Let's see how big it is. Another useful tip, especially if you're selling models or want to tell a client how many polygons are in your model, if you right click on your model group, see I've grouped all my objects together as one object or null object to keep it tidy. So if you right click on that, go to object information, you get this here. So total number of polygons in this model is 15,167 and a group of 101 objects. So it's not massive, but it might take a little time to render. Anyway, I digress. So you have your scene, hit the render button, and as you can see, it starts to draw the render. Shouldn't take too long. It's kind of like a baked texture which you can have, which again you can create. To do that, you create just a simple white material and apply that to your model, and you'll just get a baked white image. I prefer this because you get all the definitions of the model itself, and I think it's really effective. Another project I'm going to start or do in the future once I've finished this one is perhaps try some animation using the cell render and see what it comes out like. I think it's a good retro look and something a bit different to all these photorealistic images which people are producing these days, which are good in themselves, but it doesn't hurt to have something a bit different, I believe. So you get the idea. It's chomping along. My machine's a quad core, hence the 4 boxes, in case you ever wondered. Each box represents a core of your machine. If you've only got a single core or duo core, you'll get 1 or 2 boxes, and the render would take longer. You can see why now. This render here took nearly an hour. It's quite complex. And there you go, there is your cell render. I think it's really effective, and I wanted to share that with you. I think it's useful, as I say, for showing your clients how your models are constructed. And not only that, it's useful for you to see any triangulations that you have in your model and any bits and pieces that you might want to fix before your final full global illumination render, which can take an awful lot of time. So there you have it, a very quick tutorial. I hope you found it useful. I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for the supporting Threshold Media and the site, especially the likes of Nick Campbell and Rob Redman, who kindly donated their tutorials to the site. It's proving really popular and it's going really well. Thanks again for watching the tutorial. I hope you found it of use, and hopefully I won't leave it quite so long before I produce another one in the future. See you soon. Bye.